Hi everyone and welcome back. In this brief demonstration, what I'm going to do is walk you through pretty quickly the creation of virtual machine using Azure Portal. So on the screen here, I have my Azure dashboard here and I'm on my Azure homepage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a virtual machine, right? I'm going to click on create resource. In this create a resource button, if you want to create a virtual machine, you can either go to compute and create a virtual machine, or you can select from the popular list here, right? I'm going to create a virtual machine now, create, to see, look into networking, management, advanced, tags, and then you can review and create. I just want you to go and look into each one of these icons when you are working in your own environment. So now let's go and create a virtual machine. To do that, you need to have an active subscription. So I am having my subscription as MSDN platform subscription. Resource group, as I said, it is a collection of resources that share a common life cycle. You can create it either by clicking on create new. If you have a resource group already created, then you can go and select it. I have already created a resource group by name my resource group. I'm going to use that. So I'm selecting that. So it comes here, my resource group. So the next you need to configure is virtual machine name. So give this virtual machine a name. Let me say new VM1. So that's a good naming convention. So it is indicated with the right tick here. Region. As I said, if you let's take an example to understand this. Let's say you're using an application you're to be deployed in the virtual machine. Let's say users are in the United States, like East US. So what you want to do? There should be less latency between the data centers and the application, right? In that case, what you want to do is deploy your applications which is very close or nearer to the customers, right? So I'm using East US here as a region, and availability option, I'm not going to select anything. No infrastructure redundancy required. Image in the sense it is a base of operating system or operating system with softwares installed pre-installed. So you can go ahead and see all the images which you have: Ubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, so on. So I'm going to use Windows Server 2016 as it is just for demonstration. So you have sizes. You have a lot of services sizes available, standard. It depends on the cost as well. So you go ahead and look into it. Let's say, and let us see all the sizes here. If you have confusion, you can just select see all VM size. Then you'll be popped to this particular wizard. You can see all the available VM sizes here. I'll just go ahead and create a new one. I'll select this one, B1S. It is costing me around $546 per month. So I'm going to select that. Click on select. So it is getting selected here. So username and password. You need to give a username and password. So I'm giving YLM. Password must be anything which is validated. So I'm giving you a password. Yes, it is correct. Next, confirm password. Password is confirmed, and inbound portals, which allows the virtual machine to access the outside world or letting the information from the outside world to reach the virtual machine. So inbound ports, I'm actually selecting RDP and HTTP. So if you want to do HTTPS or SSH, you can go ahead and select. As this is only for the demonstration purpose, I'm not going to look deep into it, right? So licensing, save up to 49% if with a license you are already having in the Azure benefit. Let's say you are having the license for Windows Server, right? Then you can just select it, then you can just tick it, and you can confirm that you have a license and you provide the license key here. Then you will be saving 49% of the billing, right? Let's say if you encounter 100 rupees, then 49% will be discounted for you because you are using your own license for the virtual machine. Next, let's see what's there for our disks. Let's select next disks option. So we have many types of disks, right? Premium, SSD, HDD, standard HDD. So I'm selecting standard HDD here. Encryption type will be leaving that as a default. So we are not going to worry much about all these things. Next, we are going to select next networking. So if you click on networking, you need to create a virtual network, right? Virtual network are logically isolated from each other in Azure. So if you hop onto these icons, you'll get to know what these services has to offer, right? If you want to create new, you can go ahead and create it here by selecting create new option. Right now, let us leave it as default that Azure does it for us, right? When you select the new, if Azure creates virtual network for you, it also does create a subnet for you. It will also create public IP for you. And I'm selecting the network interface called network security group as basic because you'll be charged more if you select advanced. Public inbound ports, so allow selected ports, as we have already selected HTTP, that is port 80, and RDP, that is 3389. So I'm not going to change anything. We are not load balancing the virtual machine, so I'm not clicking on it. Accelerated networking, I'm not touching that because the selected VM size does not support accelerated networking. So please look into it when you are selecting the virtual machine, right? Image. Now let's move on to next management, right? Boot diagnostic. I'll disable this. Identity, I'm not going to touch that. So auto shutdown. We have this super option in the Azure that let's say you have created a virtual machine at 5 in the early morning and you forgot to shut down that. So that will incur a lot of cost, right? So when you select auto shutdown, when you enable this, the shutdown time is 7 a.m. or p.m. For whatever machine at 5. It automatically shut down at 7 p.m. Right? It also gives the notification for the email address, right? You can see that. If you deselect that, it will not going to notify you, but it automatically shut down, right? So that is a very good thing here, but I'm not going to enable that. I don't want to be informed about it, but I'm taking care of all those things. Right, next hop on to advanced section. So here let us see what it has to offer for us. Extensions. This is very important. Let's say you need to have some softwares installed on the operating system which you are given. Let's say Windows, right? We have selected Windows. We want PowerPoint, Word, and all other features to be included in that Windows operating system. By default, it offers us, for an example, I'm taking that Word is not present in the Windows OS. Then, if you select an extension to install, you'll get that as a package pre-installed for the usage, right? I'm not going to touch that. We are not going to see all these things which is not needed for this particular example, right? Next, we are going to see what's tagged. I'll just keep this as default. We are also not going to see what's in tag for us, right? Next, the last step is review and create. Let's click on it. Here, what it does is it is just like a summary of what you're selecting, right? We have incurring around 0.7493 INR per hour, that is Indian national currency, Indian rupees, 0.7, point 0.7, which is pretty low itself, right? We have selected subscription. It is just giving us the basics or the summary of what we have selected. In the basics, we have selected all these things like subscription is so. We have deployed this in the resource group. Virtual machine name is new VM1. Everything, all the information which we have selected will be provided here. And if you click on create, it will start creating a virtual machine. It generally takes 10 to 12 minutes to get deployed. So I don't want you to wait for me to teach all these things. I just want you to go and use this video to create your own virtual machine and get started. So that's it for the day. I hope you enjoyed the session because this is very, very needed if you're going to be an administrator or architect or going to switch to cloud, then this is going to be very useful for you to understand, right? I hope you liked it and enjoyed. I'll thank you and I'll see you in the next one.